Yellow. I get messages like these time to time, and truly, this is why I create content. I like to share more of these time to time and tie it into what other fighters have to say, using their own testimony. After all, if these people can acknowledge, understand, and overcome their own mental barriers in an arena as ruthless as this, taking these same understandings, I believe we can implement their lessons to improve the quality of our own lives, regardless of arena. That said, I'd like to start here. A problem most of us have faced to some degree, standing in our own way. When we let our nerves, our fear, our emotions get the better of us, in turn, we find ourselves standing in our own way, even when the answer is simple. It becomes a very difficult object to grasp, as we've handed our decision-making process to our lower cognitive functions. Listen here to what James Andrew Sutton has to say about his experience. A fight I had a couple of years ago in Thailand. The fight before this, I was not mentally prepared. I had too much tension in my body during the fight from worrying about the outcome. I went all out, but this was not the best approach. In between the fights, I learned copious amounts about the psychology and philosophy behind martial arts. Going into the third round, here, I knew what I had to do. Winning or losing did not matter. I had a bigger battle within myself. I knew I needed to overcome the mental blockade I had and truly allow myself to accept any outcome, to have faith in myself. I needed to truly relax, let go, allow myself to break free from the mental prison in my mind. The outcome was a KO. Thank you to all who helped me along this journey. To add further context, he sent me this in a private message, which of course he allowed me to share as well. When I first fought, I had thoughts coming into my head during the fight like, "You'll never win a fight. You didn't train enough. Everyone's watching." As soon as the fight started, I had a huge rush of adrenaline. I mistook this as fear. I attempted to take on my opponent right away. I didn't let nature take its course. I tried to punch him faster than I was possible, thus trying to be something that I was not. I didn't care about winning. It was all a mental battle. It was the hardest thing I had ever done. I had to do it again. It's humiliated. My ultimate nemesis was my own mind. Unconsciously, I had been training martial arts in order to defend myself becoming something or someone, yet it was myself that I had to actualize. The punch Andrew landed was actually something he practiced in training just in case his opponent opened up his guard to block or parry his jab. Stepping towards the crotch or center line after feinting with his jab, in came a overhand, countering the moment his opponent's guard opened. Boom. The decisions that comprise reality are very, very difficult. Anything and everything important is never easy, but I will say, as hard as it is, it's almost always mind-blowing as to how simple, how right in front of us the process is. Simple diligence towards the details ends up painting a picture that looks very complicated at first glance, when in reality, it was a step-by-step, tedious process. This is also why the simplest martial arts, the most direct martial arts, typically have the highest initial success rate. Most consistently work. When we understand this, it's almost a tragedy. Anyone who's ever done anything that involves both a lot of nerves and a lot of skill knows that the moment they let their nerves get the best of them, all of that training they did gets stifled. From there, even the simplest decisions becomes needlessly complicated. It's as Mike Tyson's coach and mentor, Amato, had said, when you get to the point where you're not excited and able, see, that's where you gotta tell yourself, completely relax, be able to see everything that's going on and sense and anticipate shots, and that can't happen unless you relax. The same understanding can be found in Eastern philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita, to set thy heart upon thy work, but never on its reward. Truly, this reality is paradoxical. The more you're worried or concerned, the more likely you are to create a self-fulfilling prophecy that reinforces that outcome. But to just let go and focus intention on the task at hand, on the moment, that's perhaps one of the scariest things and most difficult things anyone can do. But that's where the paradox comes into play. By no longer focusing too hard on the reward, our cognitive faculties are permitted to fully function on the present moment where life is actually happening. That's the great trick played upon us by our fears and anxiety. Our nerves can keep us sharp, but if we let them control us, we lock up the higher self we've diligently trained in a mental prison. Our mind has shackled the body. To that end, to just be yourself. It's one of the hardest things anyone can do, but truly, that's how you fully share all you've worked so hard to become. That's what I feel in the message James Andrew Sutton shared with us. Thank you, brother, for this lesson. If you like work from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. It truly does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma, and until next time, peace.